bike camping in February. Now, last year for a music show, I biked down to Portland, but I stayed at hotels on the way down there, and that was pretty extreme. It's about the same time of year as then. A little bit earlier actually in the season, but as you can tell, the weather's been really absolutely lovely here in Seattle. Right now, it's probably about 44 degrees or so. And it's sunny. The next 2 days, it's not supposed to rain, but it might. So, also the ground is pretty wet. It rained pretty hard the past 2 days. So, I just wanted to make this video. I'm gonna make this over time. I'm not gonna be posting this on Instagram as I go, just in case it leads to failure. But yeah, so last year I went to Vancouver during March, and I had some pretty unique experiences because the campsites weren't open because it was so cold. But actually, I found that I slept pretty good in March, and I had an overall good experience. And I didn't bring as much gear as I did today. So because I know how cold it's gonna be, I got a puffer jacket. I have my sleeping pad plus my blow-up pad. I have my nice 3-season, what the heck are those things? Sleeping bag. I have my nice 3-season sleeping bag, but I also have an emergency, it's like this metallic blanket just in case stuff goes awry. I have 2 pairs of wool socks, and I have gloves as well. So yeah, we'll see, here we go. As I stated, last year went to Vancouver. Pretty pleasant experience. Learned a lot from that, especially with the rain. I have my Frog Togs, which is probably my most trusted whenever it's a heavy downpour to put on top of this rain jacket. I also got my rain booties, and I have a 2 tarp setup. So we're gonna make a little A-frame, and we're gonna put the tarp beneath. We'll definitely need to put the tarp beneath. I will check the weather. If I'm really freaking tired or something, I might not need to put the tarp above, but I probably will because I think it's actually fun. But yeah, so here in beautiful Seattle, in this park by my house, love it up here, the beautiful Northwest. But where are we going today? So today we are headed over to Bainbridge Island, which is pretty close. There's a place called Fay Bainbridge Park, which has really good camping. For me, it's the most feasible place to camp from Seattle. So if I'm doing a trip like this in the winter, I don't have any real plans for tomorrow. So if things go awry, I'll have a day to recover from that. Also, I had a customer at the coffee shop that was telling me about a really cool, that the South Island was really cool, and there was a really cool movie theater. And honestly, I'm moving pretty late, but it's such a closed camp. It should be fine. Cheers. Got a nice espresso from a place that I trust. Nice and busy, it's a good time. Can chug this down. Then it's time to head to the ferry. I'm here at the ferry stop. They're unloading, making pretty good time. Honestly, the weather app said that it was supposed to be gray and rainy today, but the weather is absolutely incredible, which I'm just appreciating every single moment of that because we never know when the weather's gonna change. But yeah, whenever I get on the ferry, I'm gonna try to make a beat, and then we're gonna try to go down to that movie theater, check out that spot. I go mad.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and their life is better than yours.
I'm here in downtown Bainbridge, which is super cute and adorable. And there's all of the things that you need for life here. But here's what I'm gonna do. So my friend at the coffee shop, they told me that there's a cool, cute movie theater. The showtime is at 3:45. My thought is that I'm probably not gonna go to the movie today. I might end up going tomorrow, depending on my mood, and just to see how this journey is. But they said there's a cool lookout in the southeast portion of the island. So I'm gonna ride to the southeast portion of the island, and then I'm gonna ride back up because Fay Bainbridge Park is on the northeast portion of the island. So I'm gonna see how far I can get to this point, see how steep it is. Often those points are pretty steep down, which means pretty steep up. We'll see how we're doing timing wise. And then I'm gonna make back up. There's about a 30-minute bike ride with no grocery stores or anything. So as soon as I get to the final grocery store, I'll pick up some stuff. It's dry enough that there might be driftwood and stuff to be able to make a fire. We'll see if I could pick up some water, pick up some food. Might be able to actually cook some dinner actually at the campsite. So we'll just see what the vibe is like and keep it going. Check back in soon. All right, in pretty classic fashion, it looks like the only way into Restoration Point is through this gate, which is private property. Okay, so over to the left there, we have Seattle, looking really pretty. I'm sure Restoration Point would have been awesome, but if we look back here, when I went to the left, that's where it said it was private property. When I look at Google Maps, there, and it says on the road sign too, it says no outlet. And there is no like point, you know, there is no sign for a park or anything like that. So I think that's a sign. Let's go check out this movie theater. Let's see what time it is when I get there. Probably not gonna go watch the movie. It's only a 40-minute movie, but I think I should focus on trying to get to my campsite. All right, so I'm here at this vintage theater, historic theater, and it's pretty cute. This is a nice little cute little block. Just got some Mexican food, got some tacos. About to bike up to Safeway, which is about 30 minutes away. Then it's another 30-minute bike ride up to my campsite. We'll see once I get on the bike. You know, it's been about 47 degrees. I am chilling out a little bit, so we'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll get some firewood, probably get some hot dogs, and just go hang out at the campsite and see what the vibe is there. But yeah, we're getting close. All right, so I'm here at Safeway. I'm about 35 minutes from the campsite, which means I'll be getting there right at 5, which is good. I'll have about 30 more minutes of sunlight just to set up and feel the vibe out. And hopefully I can make some music. And I got plenty of food for dinner, got plenty of caffeine for the morning, plenty of snacks, so I should be comfortable. I'm not in a really big rush tomorrow, so hopefully it can give me time if it's pretty to just hang out and not rush home. But yeah, wish me luck. 30 more minutes on the road, got way more liquid, way more snacks, so gonna be pretty heavy, but about 400 feet of elevation. All right, so we made it. Sun's about to go down. I'm not seeing a camp host, but I'm trying to figure out the right spot. I have a RV spot that I stayed last time. There's actually a lot more people here than last time. Makes sense, the weather's much better than the last time I was here when it was raining. So wish me luck, gonna try to set this up, maybe get some firewood and get to camp, get some dinner, get to camp. In my tent. It is pretty cold, but it's bearable. And I just got in my sleeping bag too. So I know with time, I don't even have my gloves on. I have an extra emergency blanket just in case. But we'll see. So if I get too hot, then I get sweaty, that won't be good. But yeah, it's been a pretty good evening after it got dark. It was starting to get dark and I was setting up my stuff. And my neighbors to the right of me, they were like, here's the funny thing is that the last time I came here, it was probably in May. And it was after I went to Vancouver and it was like a monsoon. So I was trying to basically see if I could get better at camping in the rain. And today I thought it was gonna be raining too, but it wasn't. And so there's actually way more RVs here. And there's also cabins. And there's also a group of bikers who are camping as well. So even though it's cold, it's been really sunny today. And it's forecast to be sunny tomorrow. So there's way more people. And these people, they just gave me like some really hot spaghetti with meat sauce with some roasted carrots and some broccoli. And that was really good, really yummy. And it made my fire less essential, which I made a nice little fire and it went for about 2 hours, but it was good that it didn't have to be a good enough fire to cook on. So I still have some hot dogs that I can eat for breakfast now. But yeah, been a pretty good night. I did make a song by the fire, a little too dark to take a video of that, but that's okay. Maybe I'll try to make a little video in the morning. So made one song, made a mashup on the ferry. I put it on my Instagram if you want to check me out at Normal Corey. Yeah, just gonna go through all these videos and try to edit down the first half of the day, see how it feels. Awesome, see you in the morning. I'm awake. I would describe my sleep as not the best sleep in the world. It was just so cold. I kept waking up. My CPAP was great. My CPAP ended up lasting a good 7 hours. But it definitely scared me with the cold. The battery went from like 100% down to 60% in the course of 2 minutes. But I think it's also because this is the first time I'm using my battery this season. But my biggest reason with the sleep was, I think it was just so cold that normally I don't like too many layers because then I end up waking up sweaty. But it was kind of the opposite. I kept waking up colder, 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 and colder. So then finally, I used my emergency blanket and I just put my gloves on and I had my hood up, and then I slept pretty good after that point. So I probably ended up sleeping a good 8 hours. It's about 10 o'clock. A lot of the people that were here have already left. But yeah, here's my this is my little setup in the universe. Served me pretty well overnight. Didn't have any rain, and as you can tell, the sunshine is gorgeous and beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna make myself some breakfast and then I'll probably go over to the water. And I made a pretty cool beat last night, so I'll make a beat. And I think I'm not gonna go see a movie. I'm just gonna take the same path that I took here. I'm just gonna focus on B-roll. I'm gonna focus on taking my time and just seeing and just documenting my journey home. I made a little cool song, went down by the water. It was a little bit too loud, so went and reshot it underneath a nice little gazebo. Got some good shade and wasn't too close to the water. It's been pretty windy this morning. But yeah, you see I got my bike all packed up. And you learn as you go. But I have all of my stuff packed here. I have my tarps. They're basically tied onto here. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Let me get that out of there. But yeah, I have those tied up there. But then in this second bag, I have all of my video making gear right there, just to make it really easy to get in and out. But yeah, this is a great, awesome spot. It's still really sunny. It's about 11:30, so I'm gonna stretch a little bit before I head out. And my goal is just to go the same way that I came and just try to document. There is a cute little frog, so I might try to do something with that frog. I gotta find that frog. Pretty big rock over here. It's pretty cute. He looks like he's got a cowboy hat on today, but yeah, I just thought I'd check him out a little bit of a detour, but it's also always a really special part of coming out to Bainbridge Island. All right, so I've been going uphill for a while and now I'm going downhill, which is great. But what I want to talk about is an issue that I have, a lot of bikers probably have. When I'm going uphill, I am smoking hot, sweaty. Now I'm going downhill, I am getting very cold. So I have my jacket unzipped. I'm gonna go ahead and just zip this bad boy up. Don't be a hero. If you're feeling cold, however you're feeling, change the gear up. Stay comfortable while you ride. Cheers. Got another espresso here at the Blackbird Cafe in downtown Bainbridge. It is slammed in there. I wish. So whenever I was given food last night, that was really awesome. And they gave me a lot of sweets. This bakery has amazing baked goods, but I'm just gonna drink an espresso. And it's so packed. It's a Sunday afternoon, which makes sense why it's so packed. So who knows? I might try to get some food up here. I might just try to go to the ferry and get some food on the ferry. All the cars are getting off of the ferry. Looks like the ferry's loading up in about 3 minutes. You know, none of the food in Bainbridge was calling me, and it was pretty busy. Lots of cute dogs and stuff, but lots of people too. Thinking about those people giving me food last night, I had a surplus of food. It's quite common that I don't have enough food at the campsite, so feeling pretty full. Maybe I'll get some food if I'm feeling hungry on the boat. I don't know, we'll finish out this trip strong. I made it to the hustling, bustling downtown Seattle by the port. And yeah, when you're down here, you kind of feel like you gotta rush home a little bit. I got one more big hill, live up the biggest hill here in Seattle. So prepare myself for that. And then I'll probably just shoot one little last video, just checking in about what I learned, what were my mistakes, how can I do better next time, what did I do good at. Your boy is home. And I haven't showered yet, but that's what I'm about to do. And I just edited down all of the footage that I had. It was pretty cool last night when I was in my tent. I was able to edit down all the footage from the first half of my trip. And I thought it would be cool if I edited down the rest of the video before I capped off sort of this is just a reflection on what I did. So if you made it this far and you want to hear my reflections on this video, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all for being here. And I'm about halfway to having the ability to be monetized on YouTube. So all of those follows and subscriptions are really quite helpful for me and keep me motivated. And I want to make more videos like this throughout the season. I will say, going through it, this is the best video I've made so far, documenting me going on a bike trip and making music while I go. It's a lot of different things, so you kind of have to learn from it, because there's lots of mistakes to be made when you're doing one thing, and when you're doing 3 things. I'm biking, I'm making music, and I'm making video at the same time. There's always something that can go wrong. So I'm going to start off with weird things that happened on my trip. The beginning of my trip, I had a man in his car yell at me, "Watch out, watch out, watch out." But I think he was just messing with me. There was nothing there. When I was on the south end of the island, I saw what I thought was a wolf. Now, if it wasn't a wolf, it was some sort of Siberian husky or something, but I got to check in if there's wolves on Bainbridge Island. That was quite dramatic. And then the other crazy thing was whenever I was at the port at the end in Seattle, there was an older man that just fell to the ground really hard. He didn't want any help, but that was a very strange moment indeed. So let's talk about reflections on how I did. You know, when I looked over the first half of my video, I realized I didn't really get enough B-roll. So as far as my grading on B-roll, I think that's something I can just do a better job of. I do know I had more time constraints the first day. The more time constraints you have, shooting that B-roll just takes time. So I think one thing that might be helpful, and I've done this in the past, I didn't do this on this trip, particularly for a biking video, I think it's really satisfying when you can see you can actually see me biking, and I can actually talk while I bike. Now, it would be cool if I could do something, set up a camera on my helmet. I don't want to pay any more money for anything. Preferably have something where my iPhone can just set up and I can just talk as I'm going, and that's just really satisfying as a viewer to see. I did a lot of biking, but there's no filming of that, and it's hard to get B-roll if you're starting and stopping, but maybe I could just press a button as I'm going. I think that would be cool. The second half, I got more B-roll. Still not enough B-roll. That's something that I'm learning. More B-roll than you think you really need. It also makes sense when it comes to videography or photography. You need a lot of footage to get good footage. Like every 30 shots you get, one of them is good. So that just makes a lot of sense. I'll say also, when it comes to my mic. You'll probably notice in the video, I don't really need the mic for these talking shots like this. The iPhone camera sounds fine. The mic is really good for music stuff when I'm making music. So the other thing I'll talk about, as far as the gear that I packed, I think I did pretty darn good of the balance of pack what you need, but don't pack too many things. But one thing that I screwed up on is that I did not bring my headphones. And I wanted to do more content of doing remixes with my little white beat pad that I basically just set up a template for DJing from that, which I'm going to try to make a video today at Golden Hour on that, now that I have my headphones and I'm back home and I got to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to go for a walk after all of this, but I really needed those headphones. If you want to use the internal microphone of the MPC, I had read online that you didn't need headphones to do that anymore, but I couldn't figure out the way to change that setting, and it said that you needed that. So should have brought my headphones. That would have been really helpful. And you can kind of notice the song that I made at the beach. It's a little bit distorted, but it's because I didn't have my headphones. And when I heard it back later, I was like, this is a little distorted. But if you have the headphones, you can hear that. So you live and you learn. Next time, I definitely won't forget my headphones. But other than that, I think I did pretty good. As far as the actual camping, I would have layered up a little bit more before I went to sleep, because normally I get hotter as I sleep, especially if I have a lot of layers. But considering it's February, I should have just loaded up the layers, and then if I got hot, I should have done my maximum layers that I had, and I didn't do that. And so I ended up getting pretty cold. And once I did maximum layers, I slept pretty good, but I could have done that a lot more quickly. So as far as a January camp trip, or February, it's February. As far as a February camp trip, that was an incredible camping trip. And as I said, for all those things that I could do better, by far the best I've done documenting and making music while I go. I will say that was an incredible trip. The thing that did help me is I was really planning on having a rainy camping trip, which is crazy. When it's raining, it makes it there are next level difficulties to trying to document a rainy trip. You have to put plastic bags over your camera, over your phone and stuff, which you can do. So I won't let this go too much to my head, but I also won't be too much of a sadomasochist and be upset with myself that I had a sunny February bike ride. So yeah, please like and subscribe and check it out. We're going to have way more videos coming soon. Already rode around Lake Washington for New Year's. Didn't really document that very well, but it makes sense. It was misting. It was a learning experience. For a February bike trip, I think I did pretty good documenting it. So hopefully I'll do another trip soon and I'll be able to document it for y'all and share on YouTube. Awesome. Thank y'all so much for your support.